purple and gold. What a great day to be a Camel. Even though it's not Wednesday, it might be Wednesday when you're watching this. We've kind of turned the middle school state into a meeting ground for people that we're not able to get with all the time. Like last year, we done 4 or 5 videos. Chris Dunn, Travis Sullivan, Aaron Reardon. This year, we get to add our second Campbell County Camel to the playlist. So, sir, if you would, introduce yourself.
I'm Mike Ramsey. I wrestled for Campbell County. I won state in 2001.
And we've been in contact with each other for months.
I've been trolling you about the 1985 grimace that we found in the background.
We found the Simon Kenton, and they actually call it like the Bluey or whatever, some type of. You Simon Kenton guys are crazy. I'm kidding. I had to throw it in. He told me to throw in a negative Simon Kenton remark. No, I'm kidding. He knows I'm just messing. But we reached out on Facebook, found each other, and just been trying to set this up. And
I've been a big fan of the series.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate, like I said, this is an entire Commonwealth of Kentucky series. It's not just the Alex Green series. It's not just whatever part of the state. This is the entire state series. No matter what year you wrestled, it's there for you to enjoy.
Yeah.
Entertainment that you can have forever. Show your family, show your classmates maybe you went to school with that never got to see you wrestle. Whatever the case is, your kids, if that's the case, significant other. But we reached out and kind of tell I guess everybody else the story about the video that you first saw that was a Campbell County Camel that you come across on my Facebook.
Oh, I said his name. I forgot.
It was Matt.
Matt Shear?
Shear, yep.
Yeah, you posted it and said you were reaching out to his daughter. And he passed away. I knew Matt in passing. I've only met him like once. Mm-hmm. And Campbell County had these books that, and they had the outcomes of every state.
Oh, wow.
And it was just something I used to like pump myself up, like, this guy won this year. And I'd read all the names, and every time a name pops up, I'm getting older and I'm not remembering as well, but Matt Shear, as soon as I was a friend with him on Facebook, knew he was a wrestler, and he unfortunately passed away. And it's a beautiful thing that you just have it to share.
Matt Shotwell from Connor, he was able to, he reached out to me and said, hey, do you have this video? And as soon as Matt said the story, I was like, of course, I'll post it. And I'm glad that Matt mentioned that because that led me and my man here today, you go by Mountain Mike. Is that your Instagram?
No, I was just a fan of Game of Thrones when it came through.
I got you.
Like to think I'm a little strong, but
Mike the Mountain.
Just Mike.
Okay.
Mr. Ramsey.
Mr. Ramsey.
I happen to coach youth wrestling this year, so it's Coach Ramsey finally.
Coach Ramsey. We'll go with Coach Ramsey.
No, that's a farce. I'm just an old wrestler trying to help out.
I got you. Now, I got to ask, what gets a young Mike Ramsey into wrestling?
Oh God, I wish I could say it was like I was had a whole family lineage, and it wasn't. I had a neighbor. Mm-hmm. He was 7 years older than me, something like that. His name was Josh White.
Okay.
He wrestled for Campbell County. I want to say he got 4th place in 92.
Okay.
I don't remember, but he started taking me to the youth program that I, in my old age, started helping out with. Yeah. And he took me. I want to say I started wrestling in 1989, but I might be wrong.
Wow.
It might have been later.
Well, but if you come in at 89, though, I mean, I've got it wrote down here. That would have been a prime time for a youngster to be involved because Campbell County, they won the team title in 90. You had Kurt Zinga in 1990. Then also won the team title in 1991. So that's a great time for a kid to get started is when the program's rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I was in youth wrestling and getting it all kind of secondhand. I go to a match and I was young and like just saw these like they were giant men to me because I was a child.
Right.
And it was just cool. But that youth program, man, I'm going to get emotional now.
Okay, that's fine, man.
I was a rural kid.
Right.
it was like I belonged there.
Right.
It was like a weird like thing clicked at a young age. Like, oh man, this is where you got to be. Yeah. And that's how I started.
So many people have...
And there's a part 2.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I was the big kid. I was the in all my classes. I was head taller than everyone else, chubby, husky kid, whatever term we have to use to not say that we're.
I got you.
So I wanted to play football. I was a big football guy. My grandpa played football, and I was football. I took like in middle school years off to just play football. Had a fun time. Mr. Bandcampers driving me and some other kids for some other activities on a bus from my middle school to the middle school for practice.
Okay.
And I hadn't wrestled, and he just looks up in the mirror and goes, "Michael, are you going to wrestle for me next year?" And it was like my 8th grade year. And I was, "Yeah, I will." And I just started wrestling again. And that's how I got back into it in high school.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, Coach Bandcamper, legendary two through that. Coach Bandcamper has 4 Campbell County under the direction of Coach Bandcamper. Like we said, 1990, 1991, 2004, and 2012 team state champions, and also 28 individual state champions. But, I mean, you guys are going to see the video. You see somebody the size of you walking the hallway, he's like, "Why are you not wrestling? Son,
Yeah.
what?
Well,
I'm married. Come with me.
Man,
You're going to the mat room."
I don't want to name names, but like a big football guy. I love playing football. Campbell County's not known for their football, and that's it's a shame because being a big school, we always had that. Big kids just didn't want to play. I don't know why. Just they didn't have the history or whatever to entice those kids, and it was the same. We'd always have the wrestling room packed, but there was years where we didn't have like a kid. Nick Rittinger, he wrestled before me. He was a heavyweight at one point, and he was like a 171 pounder, light heavyweight. Right. But it was like that for a while.
You said earlier, going into the room, being brought there, you feel like you belong.
Yeah.
So many people have said, whether on camera, off camera, or in messaging back and forth, setting stuff up, that they feel like they belong in a wrestling room. The only wrestling they really had seen is like WWF, WCW growing up, and they get to a room, they find a coach that accepts them. They maybe aren't 6'5" and can play basketball. Maybe they're not.
Well, it's a basketball state. We had kids with our youth program that wrestled, and then like they dip out and go to basketball practice. So it is what it is.
And I know how I feel about it, and I'm sure this about everybody else. Yes, I love wrestling. I think that's very apparent. But I'm also for, especially in today's time, whatever gets kids active. Whether it's basketball, football, baseball, soccer, wrestling, swimming and diving, band, whatever it is, as long as the youngsters are active in something positive, chances are they're not going to be active in something that's not positive, and that's not what we want.
Yeah, that's a tale as old as time. The kid that drops out, and then you hear like, and he's doing this. So
many people that we've done the Connor videos, Hoptown, Woodford County, just all these names, and you'll go out and talk to these guys and be like, "Man, I'll tell you, this guy was good, but so and so." He was, 3 times the wrestler this guy was, but he dropped out of school. Now he's, in prison. Now he's,
it's worse than that.
Laying in a cemetery for a drug overdose, or whatever the case is. But if you feel like you belong, then stick with it. Stick with it. That's all. I mean, who knows? One day you could be doing a review on my YouTube channel, right? So like we said,
the peak.
Yeah, the peak is not winning. It's being on the YouTube channel. So like we said. Campbell County, 4 team titles, 1990, 91, 2004, and 2012. 28 individual champions. You're one of the 28. Now, in 2000, you're at the state tournament, heavyweight, 3rd place.
Yeah.
So we won't really 3rd place. I mean, you're a junior, very respectable.
Yeah.
Very respectable. But what we're going to talk about is your 2001 video. Now, in case you haven't been keeping up with the series, 2001 was one of the first years I got in the collection when I made the purchase from the archive. But for some reason, the 3rd and 5th place matches were archived. The finals weren't. So doing this series, meeting people, I've been able to acquire, I think now this is my 9th year of the 2001 state finals. So I've just about got to complete. There's a couple lighter weight matches I don't have, but it's cool that you have it. And we got the face-off as well, so we're going to, and the Parade of Champion video we posted, we're going to insert a clip before we start. But here, so going into your 2001 state tournament, what was your record?
I believe it was 53-3.
53, that's a phenomenal.
I had 3 losses. I never forget the losses. I can describe and
tell us about
detail.
Tell us about it. What happened?
I know I lost to Dan Oberding, who was ranked second. I believe I lost to him at region.
Dixie Heights.
Yep. He got second place in 2000.
Okay.
I think he was the best wrestler from Dixie for a while, unless they had a.
Then Brandon Johnson come in and he won it in 14 and 15 as heavyweight. He pinned. I don't think he wrestled an entire minute match both years.
Dano, he was a great wrestler. I was on the an all-star football team, played with him. That was fun. So I lost to that guy. I lost to a dude from Tennessee, and we wrestled like something for the first time down there. It was like Kentucky-Tennessee duels.
Maybe.
And I think that was the match I was trying to explain earlier. I hurt my shoulder and kind of hid it from everyone. And then I lost to a kid from Ohio that I believe was an Ohio State champion.
And, of course, in case you don't know the geography of Kentucky, Campbell County is right on the Ohio River. I mean, you could, if you're a good golfer, hit a driver across the Ohio River and be in. So I'm sure you guys saw a lot of Ohio competition week in, week out. Northern Kentucky is usually one of the strongholds, if you will.
It was kind of landlocked. There's a ton of new teams that kind of. I didn't know Harrison County had one, and Walton Verona has a team now.
Yeah, Harrison.
It wasn't around 20 years ago when I wrestled.
Okay, well,
but it makes the area bigger. But it was always just the Boone, Kenton, and Campbell. We were like our own little thing, and when in your videos when you're like this county down here and that county down here, if it's not like Fayette County, Scott County, I'm geographically blind to what you're saying.
And that's why I like putting the map on. Everybody can see, just because not everybody knows.
I don't mean it is like in a conceited way. Like I'm a Kentucky guy. I'm proud to be from Kentucky, but I know where Pike County is. What county are we in right now?
We are in Whitley. We're on the Tennessee border, Whitley County. We're in Corbin this weekend of middle school and U State. So let's go over your bracket real quick. Start off the tournament against Zach Brewer from Paul Lawrence Dunbar.
He was a good kid, man. I think we talked before the match, during the match, after the match, and he won state in 04?
03. He won from Paul Lawrence Dunbar,
I beat him with a garbage headlock. It was disrespectful, and I hate that I beat fellow Kentucky state champion with such a garbage move.
Yeah, well, it says you got to fall in 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Yeah.
But it couldn't have been too much of a conversation with 1 minute and 8 seconds. But
we were just
that was before Facebook, MySpace. So
it was a different world. Kids today don't understand.
They're out there sharing TikToks on the map with each other.
They got their tablet.
Second round quarterfinals. You're wrestling Justin Medlin from Western, and he goes on to get 5th place. But the crazy thing about this match, it's a squeaker. You win a 2-1 decision.
Yeah.
2-1.
Could have not been in my favor. I'm trying to wrestle back and 2-time 3rd place.
Yeah.
It doesn't get you on the peak.
It doesn't get you on Alex Green's YouTube channel. Doesn't get you on here.
Maybe some other lesser channel where we're just talking to goons that used to do stuff.
Yeah, for real. Semifinals, you're wrestling Mike Hines from the Battle of the Mikes from Fort Knox, and you win that by fall in 4 minutes, 29 seconds. Now, the other Mike goes on to get 6th that year. So you wrestled the 5th place and 6th place. So you had a pretty rough.
So everyone placed from who I touched.
Everybody but Zach.
Yeah, okay.
Zach didn't. Of course, 2 years later he wins it, but still.
I think he was a freshman or something. Also, freshman or sophomore.
In 2001, he'd have been a sophomore.
Yeah,
had to be a sophomore. And in the finals, you're wrestling Marlon Deal from North Hardin.
Yeah.
And we're not going to tell you the outcome. We have the video. Now, had you wrestled him before?
No, I don't know his story. I don't think he wrestled the year before, or he just didn't make it to state. I mean, that could happen.
Very possible.
He was a phenomenal athlete.
Phenomenal. Well, wait till you guys see. Now, you guys will see it, but for a heavyweight match, there's a lot of points scored.
Yeah.
A lot of points scored.
Well, when this dude was just walking around, this is out of my memory. He would walk around the dungeon. Mm-hmm. They had like these little ropes to get in and out. He would just like be walking normal speed and just like vertical leap over it and just same stride. No big deal.
I can, watching the match before, getting everything converted before we started this, I can see him. Oh, he
intimidated me. So if I'm in the finals, he must have done that to everyone in the room.
Yeah.
Big dude, strong dude.
Big dude. So we are going to get our, if you can't tell, we're in a hotel room here at the Red Roof Inn in Corbin.
Beautiful Red Roof Inn.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. But we're going to get our TV set. We're going to get everything lined out so we can get a better view of the match. We will see you guys. It's hard to believe it's been 22 years ago.
No, I wanted to do something like this on my own, and when you made the videos, it was like a little fraternity. I'm glad,
yeah.
Anyone you're interviewing, it's like, I know what they're saying. I know exactly what they're talking about. Never met these people. There could be 20 years younger than me, 20 years older than me, and it's the same conversation that I'm trying to articulate now. That it's a unique position, and I'm grateful to be a part of it.
Well, man, like I said, thank you for coming. You're staying at the Motel 6.
Oh, the beautiful Motel 6.
The old commercials. I'm Tom Bodette. We'll leave the light on for you.
Yeah,
you made the trek across the. I'll insert a Google image here from the maps. You're staying at the Motel 6. I'm staying at the Red Roof Inn.
I ran across just as I do in the beginning of this video we're about to watch.
Yeah, so like I said, we're going to get our TV set. We'll see you guys in 2001 Under the Lights in Frankfurt.
Campbell County, a senior with 45 pounds and 3 Michael Ramsey. And from North Harden, a senior with 45 pounds
All right, you guys are seeing what we're seeing. This bit now, you guys just saw the Parade of Champions. Thank you to, I believe it was either Ben Vessels or Neil Crawford. One of those guys, I converted their video for, and they had the complete Parade of Champions on there, and I posted that in my 12 Days of Chris Matz on my Facebook, and I think you said you got emotional watching it.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff that you. I get emotional on almost everything you post.
well, thank you, man. And that that's.
But yeah, definitely that one, because it like takes me back to my youth. This is my youth. And this is the culmination of something that I put a lot of time in my life into.
And that proves that how strong the emotional attachment is all these years later. Because the beautiful thing, I'm not trying to sound like a college kid, experimenting with wacky backy for the first time, and whatever. But the beautiful thing about the way the subconscious mind works is there's no distance or time. So when you see this, you feel like you're right back there as an 18-year-old kid or whatever year you were when you won it or in the finals, that the body thinks you're having that experience again. You're like, whoa, man, I'm a 18-year-old kid living life, carefree, under the lights.
It'll take me back to where I was sitting. I knew where I was sitting at that point in like the other matches from that year.
I believe that, and I think Josh Muncie said the same thing. A couple other guys from 2001 have said, and I try to bring up other guys from that we've met with, but this has the face-off, and the match goes straight into it. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Here we go. 2001, watch out.
this is exactly how, stride for stride, 22 years later, across the road to the Red Roof.
Yeah, I should have filmed that. You know, you
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about a good.
It was beautiful. My wife, she loves how she's like, oh, you're running so strong.
I think
she loves it.
The biggest calves of the series so far.
They're cantaloupes, but Mr. Dill, he's got equal.
All right, so we're
right into
we
it.
have narrowed down. This is at first we thought it was South Oldham's mat. It's actually Western Hills mat.
Okay.
Because Western Hills is in Frankfort.
Yeah.
Been told this is Western Hills mat.
It was-
I wanted to clarify that.
Probably a logistical nightmare back then, as
Oh,
heavy
yeah.
as those were.
Those three-piecers, you had to get the whole team to lift them.
Or if you're a wealthy school, you get the little carts.
Yeah. All right, so you shake hands now. Right out of the gate, he comes in, and he, I mean, literally bull rushes you.
Yeah, he was so physical. I'd like to think I was a physical wrestler. I'd be snappy with my cross faces. He's giving it to me. It's hurt. I didn't think.
And
It was like wasn't sure if I was going to win. I was just trying to survive the way and he did this to everyone that I saw him wrestle that day.
And, I mean, I would say you're probably close to the 275 limit.
I weighed in. I think I was 265.
Okay.
But I know he was heavier than me.
I mean, and he literally, and I'm not trying to, but I mean,
He
right out of the gate, just one
snapped
snap
out.
and boom.
I never got handled like that in my wrestling career, as far as I recall.
I believe that. I can just, I mean, the videos that we watched earlier, we was able to go through and watch some of your other matches. So we got Stalling Green.
Green.
He was, if he was on top, he stopped.
Yeah, he was just manhandling me, and I mean, that's where I don't know his story. If he's just inexperienced in one year out of the gate, just a phenom,
Right.
physical dude, that's his inexperience. To where if I wrestled for a decade, hopefully the young kid from Campbell County makes a comeback. We don't know.
So I got it 2-1 now. 2-1.
And
I mean,
that was he.
That's a
A
blast
bull rush
leg
double
there.
leg two, so that's 4
I got it 4-2.
4-2.
Now, he signals locking hands, but I'm not exactly sure. He didn't give a point for it.
Yeah.
So
He's telling him something. I
don't know what the call was on that. We're sorry.
maybe it's
I think he's signaling headgear.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not trying to make fun of ref. I don't know why somebody would give the locking hand signal for headgear. So don't hate me, whoever this ref is. But
the fidelity. I want to say it's Joe Neely just because I love Joe Neely so much, but I don't know if that's him or not.
I'm sure somebody will leave it in the comments.
I know he reffed my matches that day. I know
Right.
Joe is a very accomplished referee,
It,
but the fidelity's so bad
yeah.
just from the time.
And that's another, not a plug for what I do, but if you have tapes, get them converted for real. You don't want
Saves it.
you don't want those memories to be lost.
In the break, you see Coach Glenn Gray.
Yep.
He's still, Mike, you got to do this. He never gave up.
So that's in your corners, Gray and Bandcamper,
yeah,
right?
Mike Bandcamper, Glenn Gray. Glenn Gray beat me up every practice he could. He's got a funny non-wrestling story that involves a wrestling maneuver.
He just banged you for stalling right there too.
Yeah, I wasn't doing anything. I was just trying to live.
Another blast.
Two and up.
But I think it's 6-3. I think is the score.
Another
8-3.
no sprawl, and then I ninja kick him. Then I asked you about that before. He held on to it, and I just straightened my leg out.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. I'd have let that be, especially big boys. Let that play on.
Well, yeah, you're still moving. I didn't get him in the face or anything, but I got him off me.
And that was a violent interaction between two
big
dudes right there.
I was trying to just bull him over, and I remember just having a brain fart, and I wish I would have got a takedown on him, but
Right, so you deferred. Was that an automatic for you? Deferred?
every match I had this weird little. I'll talk to you about it later.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're superstitious.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Superstitious
I'm
and
kidding.
maybe
I'm kidding.
OCD in retrospect. So that's another takedown.
Yeah. Another one. So, I believe it's 10-3, 10-4 now.
I mean, he's just laying on me for what that's worth.
Did he feel like 1,000,000 pounds?
Dude, you'll see it later.
Reversal, okay.
Yeah, I'm still fighting. I'm not out. I'm not emotionally out of this. I never gave up. That's like, when I get emotional, it's because this is still who I am. I'm still that kid.
Right.
I'm still that 18-year-old kid. I'm wrestling the other baddest dude in the state, and I'm not going to give up.
Right.
He punched me in the face. I'm still there. Slam me as hard as you can. I'm going to come after you.
And, that's something that doing this series, we've been able to, the message I think we've been able to convey to so many people.
There's a good pop. I don't blame him at all, man. Give it to me.
Is with, people getting into the sport now that it's growing, one of the things people get to realize is, when kids get into wrestling, it's what does this show me about me?
Yeah.
What does wrestling show me about me?
You learn so much about yourself. And I'm proud that I got a takedown like that in my career. A beautiful, it's a half fireman's carry, but I saw his legs cross and I knew I had it.
Yep.
Got the takedown.
And give kudos to you, a heavyweight, being able to move. Even when you just saw...
I wasn't necessarily the fastest heavyweight or the strongest, but I feel I wrestled a very technical wrestling style. And the coaching. You see, Glenn Gray's the guy on the right. He's so into this match, and that's my memory of the match. And I swear I never got called for locking hands in my career. It was just something I never did. But I did it. I did it there. I'm not going to say I didn't.
Statute of limitations expired, Your Honor.
He caught me.
So, do you remember hearing the crowd? Do you remember?
I remember the chants, but I had a conversation with my dad. We were watching my nephew play football. And he's like, can you hear what these people are yelling? Like, nah, man, if you're in the zone.
Yeah.
And there's...
Put him on his back. You get
just
takedown and near fall count.
That's where, I suspect he didn't have a whole lot of experience, and that was his flaw, because he reached back, and it was an instinct to me, just I don't have a neck, it's got to go down another centimeter, and you don't got anything.
Yeah.
And the crowd was going nuts. He's gassed, man. He's a strong dude. And there's Glenn. Glenn just giving me 100%.
Oh yeah, you can tell he's into it.
Oh yeah, and their strategy. That was another great thing about Campbell County, that it was always little things, like check in with look over and check in with the coach, and keep that communication. Don't go and stare off at the crowd. Come over and talk to us.
Yeah.
That I don't want to knock any other school, but some other schools back then I can't talk about today.
Right. No, that's.
It just
that's
seemed like
a very fair assessment. I mean, it
Yeah.
really is. We done Kurt Zinga's 1990 video, and he said that the entire senior class from Campbell County come to Atherton to watch him. When he was in the finals and won the team title. Did you have a big cheering section?
Yeah, there was just people came down, it was at the dungeon under the lights. It was an awesome setting.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I didn't partake, but there was a lot of partying going on that might not have been legal.
We'll save those stories for the uncensored memoirs here after a while.
I remember a lot of furniture getting thrown out onto part of that hotel.
We can neither confirm
I didn't do it.
confirm nor deny those stories, but I think some of you know what we're talking about.
I went in and watched my tape and tried to get better. So that was another reversal. We lost the score, didn't we?
Well,
I'm distracted.
We know the final. We'll get and I think that this is the highest scoring heavyweight match in history.
I'll take that. I mean, I didn't give up. That's if I'm just part of it, and that's my attribute. I didn't give up.
Yep. Because the 60s, the 1960s era, you can't find you can find the winners, but not the scores.
He reaches back again. That's where it's, man, I know he's strong and you can get away with that, but he got to escape.
Got his loss of control there. So now you're neutral. you're got 1 minute left.
Yeah.
So, are you aware of what the score is? Do you know?
Yeah, I know at some point, probably in that last little skirmish where we were on the ground, I had a moment where I look over, and that's like a moment. I'll have dreams where I look over and see that the scoreboard.
Right.
And it was like 18-13.
And that's.
And I knew, and it was like, oh, it pumped me up just seeing that score to where it's like, oh yeah, I just gotta ride out the storm. I'm through the worst part.
Yep.
And I get back.
He got him for stalling.
Yeah, and band campers down there sorting me out. He was
band camper. Come on.
He was really good. He's about like just sorting out the score and taking care of his kids.
Oh yeah, band camper's a legend. I mean, he just is.
Yeah, I'm proud to just have been a part of his legacy.
Right.
Just being like, even if this didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
We were headbutting there. We were
there. It is.
Trying to hurt each other.
There it is.
Those are pointer fingers with the fidelity. I got in trouble from Coach Bandcamper a couple tournaments before that I put up number 1 and then came in second place in the tournament. And
I got you.
It was like a life lesson.
I got you. So, watching it back all these years later, did it play out the way you remembered it?
It's an emotional roller coaster, man. I'm fighting back, just laying on the bed and crying. I've had a lot of people like ask me for this tape. I think his name's Matt. It's the Cooper's dad, the Cooper family from Simon Kenton.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
I believe it's Matt. Nice guy. Every time I avoid him because every time I see him, he asks me for the tape, and I've tried, and I just come up with excuses and never convert the tape as we're doing now.
Well, now you've got it converted to digital.
But that's been like my little legacy of this match is, and you've run into it also where people like, hey, when are you doing Mike's match?
Yeah.
It was a crazy match. Maybe the highest scoring.
I feel pretty confident saying maybe not the highest. I know it's not the highest total point match.
Yeah, heavyweight
but
match. I'll take heavyweight. Yeah,
I'm
heavyweight's a different animal, different style. I'm glad it wasn't a match where one guy just falls on the other guy, and that's the match. It wasn't a pin. I'm glad that I shot and hit a takedown.
Like I said, kind of on topic here, we're staying here, of course, at middle school state, and I'm sharing a room. We're in our room here. I'm sharing it with Chris Pierce, Byron Pierce's dad, 2019 heavyweight state champion. Now currently, as of this filming, wrestling for Midway. He won his junior year by a score of 1-0.
Yeah.
1-0. And you won yours 18-13.
Well, what was the epic from '99?
It was Chris Floyd and Joey Stepp.
Yeah, and that's like a legendary story.
Do you remember
when
that?
I was wrestling, like he won twice, and then I don't think I can't remember if I was there. I don't think I was, but I know I saw that match, and
I could talk. And I'm not just saying this. I think, to me,
but it is a controversy. It's like it's a controversy, and those two videos are worth. If you haven't watched them, go watch them.
That's the best to me. Everybody has done phenomenal, but to me, the Joey Stepp, Chris Floyd, 1999, because we got Joey's side and we got Chris's side, and what both of those guys have went. We're not going to go into it here. That's for another. That's for them. For them to say.
But it was cool. It was like a younger wrestler at the time. I heard the story, and I met Chris Floyd.
Yeah, Chris.
I met him one other time at his school. Like it was after he had graduated, and I think it might have been my senior year. And just shook hands, talked to him.
If you haven't watched, after you watch this, go back and watch the Chris Floyd 1999 and Joey Stepp 1999. I promise it'll be well worth your time. Like I said, watching it back, going through that emotional roller coaster. You have kids now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're at some point going to sit them down. Once I get it.
I have 2 daughters, and as like I didn't coach, and I refereed for a short time after I graduated, and this is my first year ever like coming back to help out with anything, and I feel like a little guilty about that. But also, if this women's wrestling thing
and it's
pops
going to take
off,
off.
I've got daughters, and my 3-year-old, she is an animal.
Watch out, huh?
Yeah.
She's got dad's blood in her, huh?
Definitely, yeah.
So
she's a climber. She's very she's surprisingly agile climbing up things.
Well, and be looking for that. Like I said, Kentucky will be adopting girls wrestling this year. It's just a matter of time.
But if it's going to blow up, and I do have this a little bit of wrestling knowledge, I could be at least another set of hands to help roll out the mats.
Yeah. Oh, and I mean, a wrestling program takes a village. I mean, really, really, to have a successful program, it takes kind of like this series.
Yeah.
It's not just me. They're like Brent Courtney and Harrison. Don't tell Harrison, like I said, we'll cut the part out to Harrison here, so Harrison will have to cut your part out. But to me, Brent Courtney and Harrison Courtney from Woodford County, those guys, if this was, the old saying, becoming a made guy, in my opinion, the help they've been able to give me finding videos and just being there, being a person to bounce ideas off of, to me, as far as the series go, they're a made guy. They're like I'm not saying in the mafia, but you get where I'm going. They're a very strong part of this, and I've met people that I never even knew across the state that I've become friends with through this series. I mean, that's just the facts. There's people that I've met, Hopkinsville, Connor, Wayne County, Woodford, Campbell County now. I mean, Louisville, you name it. And every place I've been, I've met people that I can say, this guy is my friend.
Yeah.
These people now, I would feel confident saying they are my friends.
It's all in the past. I know it was like there was always names you heard and like, oh, that's so and so, and maybe I was like just a little too shy to say something like, oh, you're Livingston Merritt. I copied off him and didn't know that I did until I saw your video. My parents bought me a state championship ring.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't wear it as much because I thought maybe that's like a little not. Is it not a cool thing?
Oh yeah, no. If you wear that, if you got one, you wear it.
Yeah, I sat them aside. I was gonna bring them with me.
Well,
but I have a state ring, and as soon as I saw this video, I was like, okay, I can pop that thing back on.
Listen, man, Livingston. Yeah,
he's a legend. He's a name I only heard until you had the video.
And I can say Livingston's my friend. I didn't know who. Like I said, I've always seen the name, but I can say Livingston. He's been basically my host down there the past 3 times I've been to Hoptown, and Livingston, I can say now is my friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say this dude is my. You talk about a match I'd like to see. You and Livingston. You went too far. 97,
it's hypothetical.
2000. Hypothetical. As a fan, that's talk about fantasy booking. That's a match I would like to have seen. So Livingston, maybe we can get you and Mike hooked up. Maybe we do a.
He's a touch a few years ahead of me, so maybe that'll be to my advantage.
Yeah, just 4 years ahead of you. That's nothing. Livingston, man. I think that's the new thing. Is we're going to do a series of. Guys I met with before, give them a month or 2, kind of get back in shape. All right, let's go. And I'll referee it even. How about that? You have to save on money refereeing. No, I'm kidding. Mike, man, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me, man.
Across the road, you drove so far.
I ran. I sprinted.
3/10 of a mile of a sprint across the road and doing this. And I'm glad we're able to get you on the channel. And we're going to be, from all intents and purposes, I think we're going to be coming to Campbell County some point this spring or summer 23. Doing videos with guys. We're going to try to get with Austin Myers, his brother, some other Campbell County names, and just going to Northern Kentucky and just say, here we go. Let's do it.
I'd love to be a part of that, but I mean, the timing was right for us to do this.
Oh, yeah. This couldn't ask for a better time.
Same
better
place,
location.
same time.
Same place, same
Take
time.
advantage of it.
And we just had to get it done. So we're going to wrap this one up here. We're going to go downstairs and hang out with the other referees here this weekend, have some fellowship, and maybe watch some old videos. Maybe get them to watch your match. Oh, that's unsportsmanlike. That's unnecessary. All these years later. That's all we got. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the mats or at your local Red Roof Inn.